She was mocked the second she stepped into Paris Fashion Week, her wrinkled shirt and worn slip-ons branded homeless chic by a sneering influencer. Security dragged her out as the crowd jeered, "Get the maid off our runway!" Humiliated but unshaken, Iris clutched a card that could ruin the show's star. One sentence from her lips froze the room, and the Queen of Couture's empire began to crumble. The Grand Palais in Paris was a cathedral of couture, its glass dome catching the autumn light, its runway a sacred stage for the world's fashion elite. Paris Fashion Week was the pinnacle, where designers became gods and dresses became history. Tonight, the spotlight was on Celeste Duval, the reigning queen of French fashion, her brand a beacon of modern couture and women's empowerment. Her show was the event of the season, with A-list celebrities, Vogue editors, and billionaire buyers filling the front row. The air buzzed with anticipation, chandeliers casting diamonds across silk banners emblazoned with Celeste's logo. Her Instagram, with 5 million followers, live-streamed the glamour, cementing her as untouchable. This was a world where image was everything, and the wrong look could erase you. Iris Lane slipped into the venue, her wrinkled cotton shirt tucked loosely into coarse linen trousers, her slip-ons scuffing the polished floor. Before Iris could even sit, the audience's elite turned her presence into a cruel game. Lila Voss, perched in a glittering gown, stood and pointed at Iris's trousers, shouting, "Did she borrow those from a thrift shop janitor?" The crowd roared, their Rolexes glinting as they snapped photos, posting to a WhatsApp group named Fashion Week Royals. Ethan Crane, lounging in velvet, tossed a crumpled program at Iris, jeering, "Use this for your resume." Diana Tate, her fur coat swaying, called out, "She's an insult to couture." Their phones filmed, the clips hitting Snapchat with captions like, "#runway reject." Chloe Hart, the PR staffer, smirked from the sidelines, her silence endorsing the attack. The laughter was a tidal wave, each taunt a fresh bruise on Iris's pride, but she stood tall, her almond eyes unwavering, her tote clutched like armor. The posts gained 25,000 views, each share a public execution of her dignity. At 42, she was quietly striking. Almond eyes that held secrets, chestnut hair in a loose braid, no makeup to mask her natural glow. Her canvas tote held a sketchbook, a pencil, and a faded photo of her old studio. Iris was the phantom of fashion, the genius behind Maison X, a label that once dressed Beyoncé, Kate Blanchett, and Monaco's royal family. 10 years ago, her best friend and assistant Celeste Duval stole her designs, built an empire, and branded Iris a plagiarist. The betrayal crushed her career, forcing her into exile in Los Angeles, where she lived in obscurity, stitching thrift store fabrics to survive. Now, back in Paris, Iris had returned, not for revenge, but to reclaim her truth. She bought a third-row ticket, her presence unnoticed, her heart steady. The Grand Palais hummed with wealth, attendees in Dior and Chanel sipping champagne, their jewelry glinting under the lights. Iris took her seat, her tote on her lap, her eyes scanning the runway. Nearby, a fashion influencer named Lila Voss, her blonde curls cascading over a sequined gown, noticed Iris's outfit and smirked. "Is this a charity event now?" she whispered to her friend, a model named Ethan Crane in a velvet suit. Their laughter drew stares, phones lifting to capture Iris's misplaced presence. A PR staffer, Chloe Hart, approached, her clipboard clutched like a weapon. "Sorry, this show is not open to random guests," she said, her voice cold. "You're in the wrong seat." Iris's lips curved gently. "I have a ticket," she said, producing it from her tote. Chloe's eyes narrowed, raking Iris's slip-ons. "This must be a mistake," she snapped, loud enough to turn heads. The humiliation escalated. Lila Voss, live-streaming to her 200,000 followers, zoomed in on Iris, giggling, "Oh my God, who invited the housemaid?" The front row, filled with editors and buyers, burst into laughter, their camera flashes popping like fireworks. Ethan leaned over, shouting, "Did you get lost on your way to the laundry room?" The audience roared, their phones out, filming as Chloe signaled security. 2 guards, burly men in black suits, grabbed Iris's arms, their grip firm. As Chloe summoned security, the guards didn't just escort Iris, they staged a spectacle. Victor, the lead guard, grabbed her tote, holding it aloft like evidence of a crime. Barking, "What's in here, stolen fabric?" The audience hooted, Lila Voss filming, her live stream caption flashing, "Couture criminal, Paul, the second guard, yanked Iris's arm, his voice booming. "You thought you could sneak into Fashion Week?" Ethan Crane shouted, "Check her pockets. She's probably a pickpocket." The crowd's phones recorded, the footage spreading to X, tagged Nadad Gatecrasher with 30,000 retweets. Iris opened her tote, revealing only her sketchbook, but Victor tossed it back, muttering, "Trash," like her outfit. The humiliation was a public trial, the guard's aggression a deliberate show for the elite. Iris's slip-ons dragged, her almond eyes flickering with pain, but her silence held firm, a quiet defiance against the storm. "Let's go, lady," one muttered, dragging her from her seat, her slip-ons scraping the floor. The crowd cheered, a woman in a fur coat named Diana Tate yelling, "Back to the streets!" The video hit TikTok, captioned "Nandad Fashion Fail," racking up 50,000 views in minutes. Iris didn't resist, her almond eyes steady, her dignity a quiet shield against the mob. The second guard tightened his grip on Iris's arm, but she didn't flinch. As Iris was pulled past the backstage area, Celeste's crew unleashed a barrage of malice. A seamstress named Elise, threading a needle, sneered, "Look at her! Bet she sews with duct tape!" Marc Laurent, flipping through a mood board, laughed, "She's here to beg for scraps." A lighting tech, adjusting a spotlight, added, "Celeste's too big for nobodies like her." Their voices echoed through the chaos, loud enough for Iris to hear as she steadied her tote. An intern, carrying coffee, snickered, posting a photo of Iris to the crew's group chat, captioned, #LostInTheAlley. The image leaked to a gossip site, each comment, "Pathetic. Ban her." A fresh wound. The crew's cruelty was a mirror of the runway's scorn, their words a calculated effort to erase Iris's worth. Her chestnut braids swayed, her almond eyes burning, but she kept moving, their venom unable to crack her composure. As Iris was pulled toward the exit, the runway lights dimmed, and Celeste Duval emerged backstage in a white silk gown, its seams shimmering with hand-stitched pearls. At 38, she was a vision. Platinum hair swept up, emerald eyes sparkling, her smile a practiced mask of grace. The audience erupted in applause, Vogue's editor-in-chief standing to clap. Celeste's brand was a $500 million empire, her designs worn at the Met Gala, her TED Talk on empowerment viewed 10 million times. But as she stepped forward, her eyes scanned the crowd and froze on Iris, now at the venue's edge. Her smile vanished, her face paling. "No, it can't be," she whispered, her voice caught by a nearby mic. A reporter, a young woman named Sophie Bell, leaned in. "Do you know that woman? Seems like a misunderstanding." Celeste's breath hitched, her composure cracking. "No," she said sharply. "I don't know her. Security, remove her immediately." She reached into her tote, pulling out a silver-embossed card, its faint logo reading Maison X. To the uninitiated, it was meaningless. To fashion's inner circle, it was a ghost from a golden era. Iris's voice was low, clear, cutting through the chaos. "I believe Celeste remembers me," she said, her eyes locking on her former friend. "I was her mentor. She was my assistant, the one who copied every sketch, every seam, every silhouette, and turned them into the empire you're all clapping for." The room froze, gasps rippling through the crowd. Celeste's mouth opened, her denial forming, but Iris raised a hand, unblinking. "I have the copyrights," she said, "the original invoices to Monaco's royal family, and the backstage video footage, showing her secretly filming my sketchbooks, my locked drawers, sending files to her personal email." The audience was a statue, phones lowering, flashes dying. Iris pulled out her phone, her fingers steady, and opened Twitter, her first post in a decade. The screen lit up with grainy footage, a younger Celeste, sneaking through Iris's studio, snapping photos of sketches, emailing files to herself. The video's timestamp was clear, 2013, a year before Celeste's breakout collection. Reporters surged forward, cameras rolling, as Sophie Bell tweeted, "Maison X is back, and Celeste Duval is exposed." The post hit 100,000 retweets in minutes, had Crown Thief trending globally. Celeste's gown seemed to wilt, her emerald eyes wide with panic. "This is a lie," she stammered, but the audience's murmurs drowned her, their applause replaced by shock. The show's live stream crashed, overwhelmed by 2 million viewers, each comment a demand for truth. Backstage, Celeste's team scrambled, her creative director, Marc Laurent, whispering, "She's bluffing. Nobody kept records from that long ago." But Iris's tote held more than a phone. She produced a leather-bound folder, its pages stamped with copyright seals from 2012, invoices signed by Monaco's Princess Charlene, and emails from Beyoncé's stylist praising Maison X's unmatched vision. Iris handed the folder to Sophie, who scanned it live on Instagram, her 300,000 followers watching as proof piled up. "These are originals," Sophie said, her voice shaking. "Celeste's debut collection matches Iris's sketches, down to the stitching." The audience gasped, editors whispering, "It's true." Lila Voss's live stream cut off, her sequins dull as she sank into her seat. Ethan's velvet suit crumpled, his smirk gone. The guards released Iris, stepping back, their faces pale. The Grand Palais's chandeliers flickered, the room's energy shifting. Iris stood at the venue's edge, her cotton shirt catching the light, her almond eyes calm but fierce. She didn't shout, didn't cry. She spoke again, her voice a blade. 10 years ago, I trusted Celeste," she said. "She took my work, my name, and left me with nothing. Today, I'm not here to beg. I'm here to show you who built this empire." The audience stood, their phones now filming Iris, not Celeste. A Vogue editor, Anna Chen, tweeted, "Iris Lane is Maison X. We've been deceived." The post hit 500,000 likes. Hashtag Maison X returns, trending as TikTok exploded with clips of Iris's speech. Celeste's team rushed her backstage, but the damage was done. Her crown was slipping, her empire cracking. The show was suspended, the runway lights dimming as organizers huddled. The Haute Couture Council, Paris's fashion authority, issued a statement. Pending investigation, Celeste Duval's presentation is cancelled. Reporters swarmed Iris, but she waved them off, her tote slung over her shoulder. "The truth is out," she said softly, walking toward the exit. Behind her, Celeste's gown snagged on a chair, tearing as she fled to her dressing room, her sobs echoing. After Iris's removal, Lila Voss escalated the attack with a viral smear campaign. She edited a reel of Iris's ordeal, her tote searched, her slip-on scraping, her face pained, set to a mocking laugh track captioned "Fashion Week's Biggest Loser, #Street Trash." The reel hit Instagram, amassing 150,000 views, with comments like, "She's an embarrassment," and "Keep her out." Ethan Crane amplified it on TikTok, adding, "This is why we protect couture from wannabes." The video spread to YouTube, trending globally, each view a fresh stab for Iris, who glimpsed it on a boutique TV while waiting nearby. Fashion Week attendees at the boutique pointed, whispering, "That's the reject." Their laughter burned, but Iris adjusted her tote, her almond eyes steady, her calm a shield against the digital mob. The campaign was a global crucifixion, Lila's influence weaponizing Iris's pain for clout. The audience's phones kept filming, each share a testament to couture's cruelty. Lila's followers plummeted, her #FashionFail video buried under comments like, "You mocked a legend." Ethan's modeling agency dropped him, his velvet suit a relic. Diana's fur coat felt heavy, her front-row status meaningless. The Grand Palais, once Celeste's throne room, was now Iris's stage, her quiet power rewriting history. The fallout was swift and brutal. By morning, the New York Times ran a headline, "The Crown Thief, Celeste Duval's empire built on stolen genius." The article detailed Iris's evidence, copyrights, invoices, and the damning video, verified by fashion historians. Celeste's brand lost $200 million in value. Her flagship store in Paris shuttered, its windows papered over. The council banned her from Paris Fashion Week, her name struck from couture records. The scandal didn't just topple Celeste, it obliterated her allies' careers. Lila Voss's influencer empire collapsed as brands like Chanel dropped her, her Instagram followers plummeting to 10,000, her sequined gown sold to cover legal fees. Ethan Crane's modeling agency blacklisted him, his TikTok banned for harassment, his velvet suit a thrift store relic. Marc Laurent's design firm was boycotted by Paris's ateliers, his name erased from fashion credits. The Haute Couture Council publicly condemned their actions, naming them in a press release that went viral, #CoutureCriminals trending. At a Milan fashion event, attendees wore Maison X pins, a silent tribute to Iris, while shunning Celeste's former team. Social media erupted, users posting, "They mocked Iris, now they're nothing." Iris stood in her loft, her cotton shirt glowing, watching the news as the industry bowed to her truth. The perpetrators' shame was a public spectacle, their fear of Iris's legacy a permanent mark. Iris's evidence sparked a legal firestorm, with Julian's legal team filing a $75 million lawsuit against Celeste's brand for theft, naming her, Mark, and their PR firm. The court awarded Iris $30 million, forcing Celeste's empire into bankruptcy, her flagship store padlocked, her gowns confiscated. Mark's assets were frozen, his Milan condo sold to pay damages. The settlement funded the Silent Needle's global expansion, opening branches in New York and Tokyo, training 1,000 designers. Fashion houses worldwide adopted Iris's Truth in Design pledge, banning stolen work, inspired by her stand. WWD ran a cover story, Iris Lane Kuchar's Conscience, her tote iconic. Social media cheered, had Iris rules trending as users posted, "She took down a thief and built a legacy." At a Silent Needle workshop, a student thanked Iris, her designs now protected. Iris smiled, her almond eyes bright, her victory a beacon for the silenced. The guilty trembled, their empires dust under her quiet power. Her TED Talk was removed, her empowerment narrative exposed as a lie. Social media was merciless, had Celeste fraud trending as users posted, "She stole Iris's soul." Celeste's team issued a denial, but it crumbled under scrutiny, her creative director Mark resigning in disgrace. Lila's influencer career tanked, her sequined gown sold online. Ethan's Instagram was suspended, his followers gone. Diana's buyer status was revoked, her fur coat a symbol of shame. Iris didn't linger in the spotlight. A month later, she stood in a renovated Parisian loft, her slip-on silent on the hardwood, announcing the relaunch of Maison X. The label's first collection, hand-stitched silks, bold linens, and defiant cottons, sold out in hours, worn by Zendaya and Emma Watson at Cannes. Iris also opened the Silent Needle, a design academy for creators silenced by the industry. Its first class trained 100 women, their stories of stolen work echoing Iris's own. She oversaw every detail, her sketchbook filled with new designs, her tote a constant at workshops. Her husband, Julian Lane, a tech mogul who'd funded her comeback, supported her quietly, his Bentley parked outside. But Iris's vision drove the mission. The loft's walls displayed her old sketches, once stolen, now celebrated. Letters from students poured in, thanking Iris for giving them a voice. She read each one, her almond eyes bright with purpose. Celeste's empire never recovered. Her brand was blacklisted from Milan and New York, her stores replaced by pop-up shops. She retreated to a small apartment, her gowns auctioned to pay legal fees. Mark's career ended, his name tied to the scandal. Lila and Ethan scrambled for retail jobs, their glamour faded. Diana's socialite circle shunned her, her fur coat donated. The fashion world watched Iris's rise, her cotton shirt an icon of resilience. She didn't gloat. She built a legacy, not with anger, but with grace. Maison X's Instagram, launched post-show, hit 1 million followers, each post a testament to Iris's genius. The Silent Needle's graduates debuted at London Fashion Week, their designs carrying Iris's spirit. Iris and Julian spent evenings in their Montmartre apartment, its balcony alive with jasmine. She wore her cotton shirt, he a sweater, no tie. They sketched over wine, her tote on the table, holding a new photo. Iris at the Silent Needle's opening, her smile radiant. Their wealth was vast, but their purpose was vaster, rooted in a shared love for creation. The world knew Iris now, not as a victim, but as a force who turned betrayal into brilliance. Iris Lane didn't need applause. She was the design. Like, share, and subscribe for more stories like this, and let us know in the comments. Did you see that coming?